लो ले लो यार, ये करो कौन सा करो बताइए किलो तान भाई
You who have been shortly leaving, thank you very much for taking the time to be with us this afternoon. Again, the third guys, if I can finally, anybody who has just joined us, if I can ask you to grab a seat, if you can come forward, and we can start officially the proceedings for this afternoon. Thank you. If I can ask you to all come forward, take a seat. If you've got any refreshments, you can bring them with you, that's fine. If you want to hold a hot drink or some fruit with you, that's not a problem as well.
आईफोन में भी एंड्रॉइड वालों में 5 मिनट से
So thank you for joining us this 50 mosques that are involved. And the whole idea and concept of Visit My Mosque is to open the doors of a local establishment, a place of worship, which is local to you and is part of your neighborhood, so that you can be able to see what takes place behind those doors. And thank you for taking the time this afternoon to be with us. What we will do is we'll start now with a very short Q&A session with our operations manager and our head of education at Madrasa. So if there's any questions, and Imam Shafiuddin Sahib is here as well. If there's any questions that you'd like to ask, we'll take the questions first. Have a bit of an open discussion for it. And then as soon as we're done from that, we'll then go around and visit the whole facility, and Uncle Nadeem will be your tour guide for that. I'm told his wealth of knowledge and experience far exceeds the...
Really, hopefully, we all want to see a better future for our children. And that's why I brought him along today, because in the end, you know, they say a picture speaks 1,000 words, and I might give you 1,000 words, but you know, that's really says it all, doesn't it? We want them to be happy, we want our children to mix with, you know, be happy in who they are, but also be happy with the people around them, whether they go to work tomorrow or they go into education. We want them to live together, play together, work together, and hopefully address, you know, some of those needs that society has in the future. And may Allah grant us all a more prosperous and more stable, secure future between all of our communities and promote understanding between all of us. And that's the reason we stay in the Allah's name. Like Allah Ta'ala reward all those people who have come.
Thank you. Once that's primarily intended for our visitors, I think.
Thank you. It was a really beautiful address. Thank you very, very much. How does Islam understand diversity? You speak about the knowing of each other. You speak about the Quran. How does Islam understand the diversity of humanity? Is it something beautiful? Is it something that's tough? Is it something that's a challenge? What is it?
The verse that I quoted is, really the best reflection of diversity, really. That it's part of God's creation, and in a way, diversity is a symbol of God's power. And he talks, for example, in the Quran about the fact that plant growth, for example, has different colours and forms, but it's all water, it all receives nutrition from the same water. And so, in a way, that plant growth reflects that God's creation is diverse, and that's a sign of his power, in a sense, that although he's created us all from the same constituents, we are all different. And it says in the Quran that the diversity of our languages and our colours, for example, are all a sign of the power of his creation. So really, it's something that the Quran celebrates, that people are so different, although God has made them from the same constituent elements. So I think really that's the simple answer, is that it's not actually, it was always meant to be something very positive, always something meant to be celebrated, something that is a sign of God's power and creation, and ultimately a way of us, coming to know each other, that somehow it makes life more rich. I've had the pleasure of traveling around the world and, learning different languages, seeing different cultures, and, there's two aspects to it. When you see something familiar, you feel a sense of satisfaction that, although it looks different, I can understand this aspect of their culture. But equally, it gives you a sense of learning as well, of wonder, that, I've never seen it done like that before, I've never tasted food like this before, I've never experienced this kind of language or this kind of culture. So I think, it's a richer experience for all of us that we have this diversity of creation, and I think God wants us to celebrate.
Any other questions?
Can I just say thank you, because Rabbi Mark and I from the Jewish community, and opportunities like today are few and far between. It's been magnificent. Both together we've been to Harrow Mosque, the Islamic Centre in Edgware, and now to you in Harrow, which is an awesome building. I can't wait to see it on another scale. But this hospitality is something that we share with our faiths. We call it Gemilut Chasadim. And when you're hosted and you're invited inside someone's home, away from home, your home of worship, it is heartwarming. And between us, I hope we can build on this and create more opportunities to be together, because it's by being together and hearing these beautiful words of synergy and harmonious opportunity that I think we need to embrace. So thank you.
No, I thought your word of synergy was beautiful. I think that's the key. I think actually, this concept that religions are somehow clashing. If we actually understand our religions, we realise that they all stem from the same origins. They all teach actually very similar values, and it's probably the thing that we have the most in common. And even if we, even to the extent that people don't have a specific faith, some of these good, the good values that we get from our religion are, the things that we share with people who just want the world to be a better place. And simple things like charity, for example, it stems from religion. Religion gives us that, but it's something that anyone with a heart would realise is a good thing, to make sure that our neighbour, our brother, somebody in need isn't left wanting whilst we have extra to spare. So no, I think synergy is an excellent word to finish off with.
Thank you. And on that beautiful ending, not quite the end as such, we can start the next chapter if you like, which is going around. It is a very impressive mosque, it's beautiful, and I'm going to pass you over to our Uncle Nadeem Farouk, who's the operations manager at Harrow Central Mosque. He'll take you around and show you the magnificent space that we have here. So if everyone can stand, and we'll follow the leader. Yeah, if whoever would like to join, I think there's been a few people who may know this continuous.
From temples. And,
From Neasden? Or Sudbury? Or... I just wanted to... Okay.
Before you build a synagogue, you buy a ground for cemetery.
See, we don't actually have our own ground,
But
there
we
are
have given a
community
plot
Do you
in
have
all
an
the
area in a
Yes,
way
like
altogether?
Carpenter, we got our own plot there, like Harrow,
It's a sectional area.
Oxbridge Road.
Yes.
We got our
And in
own.
each London we have Garden of Peace, which is a huge place.
You've left my car here again.
لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله اللهم رب هذه الدعوة التامة والصلاة القائمة على سيدنا محمد الوسيلة
Unless there is somebody, a deceased person, and their son or daughter is involved, and they're going to take another 12 hours to come or something. This is where body is prepared, wash is given to the body Islamically, okay, and it's wrapped in an unsewn cloth, cotton, and then it's taken from here to the cemetery. It's brought in here by us. This is a free service we are offering to the people in the masjid's catchment area in Harrow.
Donation based.
Donation based. So we are already collecting donations. So when a person passed away, we don't expect anything from their family. You know, that is like.
Can I ask you two questions about this? One is, what progress has been made about non-intrusive post-mortems? Because one of the issues is cutting the body, and there is obviously progress on having instruments that can scan the body,
Yes.
So that it doesn't have to be cut. Has progress been made on that?
Yes, I think most people are. It costs the family, the deceased family, about I think around £1,000 to avoid the postmortem and go through the scanning process.
Right. Okay.
Most people are going for that.
And the other issue is one of the release of death certificates
Yes.
by the coroner, because certainly the Jewish community over in North London have had real problems. I've been made aware of that, and we've got the same coroner service,
Yes.
I think. Has the Muslim community had the same problem?
Actually, I think that's they announced it now. We can get in any time, there's 7 days, there's 24-hour service they started now.
Yeah, it's just what we tried to do was to put pressure on the coroner service to say those religions for whom it's vital that not only the death but the interment takes place within 24 hours of death. They should get priority, and the coroner of course refused on the basis of, well, you shouldn't give priority to any particular religion, to which my reaction is, well, Christian faith, it doesn't matter how long it is between the sad event of death and burial or cremation, but obviously for Islam and for Judaism it is vital. And I just wondered if that has been a particular challenge.
It has been, I think. It has been, I think.
And actually we go into your borrow, the section for that corner now. We can't get it from here, from the Brent, isn't it?
Yeah.
Corner, we can contact it all the time. The Brent comes here.
I think from what you're saying, I think we should join forces with the Jewish community.
I think you should.
We shouldn't be just fighting this all by ourselves.
Yeah.
We should join forces
Yeah.
and really achieve what we're setting out.
The reason why I raise it is if it is, I'm asking a genuine question to say, is it a problem? Because if it's a problem, then we need to address it.
It is often.
And I think it's something that it shouldn't be just seen to be one or two, one religion or another. As you say, it should be jointly done because it then becomes something that matters to the community as opposed to a particular.
And actually the main thing is that's when we finish it off, that okay, corner give us a certificate, but still we are waiting for the, that's grave and everything.
Yes.
The council, they don't provide us, that's for the digger, they're going to go and dig in the weekend, that's Saturday and Sunday. And still...
Do you have facilities at, where is it in Watford? I can't remember the names, the burial grounds. Yeah. Carpenter's Park, yeah.
And Harrow Central Carpenter Park is related with the Brent.
Yes.
Yeah, and Harrow is with Harrow.
there any spaces there? Or?
There is.
There is still space.
We
So lawn
jointly
ceremony.
we jointly own Carpenter's Park.
Yeah.
There's a Harrow section in Carpenter's
Yes,
Park.
there's a need to have a look at the issues and problems we have in the whole process.
Yes.
From the deaths to burial, if there are any hurdles.
I mean, it's an incredibly sensitive
It is.
process. And I know when in my Brent Council days, we were looking at how you get to a point, literally, of not having burial plots, but a plot that size, and then having you know, the layers of
It's 3 layers.
Yeah.
Family.
yeah.
And we do that shared service with Brent for the 24 hours that you can get certificates issued.
Yes, I think we need to have a chat within our organisation. There are certain people who are leading on it. We have done about 100 odd
Yes.
funerals so far. So if there are, we have enough experience to learn from it,
Yeah.
and then we must join forces.
Absolutely.
with Jewish
Isn't the
community.
coroner's court in North London though? It's not here, is it?
It's in North London. It's a shared. That's the problem. You know.
Yeah,
That's the problem. Yes.
Yes, I think I'm also thinking about
It's not even in
burial.
Brent,
Chairman
but the
has said,
hospital.
No,
in
that's
the
right.
weekends, they don't
So-
do the digging of the graves and all that, so we have to.
If the council provide us, that's, yes, the guys, they are here and they can keep ready, that's the 2-3 grave, I think, in the meantime, and every time they're gonna do it, whenever the people, they want it. And if they want to bury it on the weekend, that's, we have the time and we can do it in the, that's the.
Yeah, with Carpenter's Park, we've got a joint service with Brent, and Brent ran it, done it on their behalf. And I think that it's run by an external company of all people, because it caused a lot of distress a couple of years ago about some of the things they did up there. But it's, I think the problem about not having a coroner more central to this way is probably an issue.
Let's
We don't have that in
If we're gonna get a certificate from the corner, still we are waiting for the, that's the council.
Yeah.
They provide us a grave, that's the main issue for us.
I think
We're getting the grave.
we need to put together a list of issues which are affecting us, the smooth running of the
Yes.
burial service.
This
And
is,
then contact Jews, and really then who do we contact within the council coroner to take this forward?
Well, the coroner's service is a shared one, as you said. It's across North London.
Yes.
It's proving a challenge. I mean, but basically, I know in over in North London, particularly in Barnet, they've had particular challenges because there's a very large Jewish community. So they've had particular challenges there. But the same thing applies to the Islamic community.
Yes.
So I'm just, obviously, fortunately there haven't been too many deaths in the Islamic community, but it can happen at any time, unfortunately.
yeah, no one knows when we're gonna die.
If we knew that.
Yeah.
We knew that, we knew.
That's the main, if you can work for us.
Well, I'm very happy
both of you here,
to help. I mean, one of the reasons why I asked the question is I'm very happy to help. But I don't want to start raising things which aren't necessarily a problem. But if they are a problem, then we need to do something about it and address it. So that's why I say yes, talk amongst yourselves, and if you want me to take up the issue, and I will take it up jointly with Gareth. I mean, we operate together on these particular issues, and try and help.
Okay, that's brilliant. And we'll come back to you.
Please.
You should have.
You call
No.
it.
I don't have any cards now. I haven't got any cards with me. I don't have these small pocket cards anymore because I run out of them.
We've got the phone now, isn't it?
Thank you. This is the quiet room.
That's it.
This is where the bereaved families come
The
and,
first day,
the
people they
pray and wait for the body to be prepared.
Yeah.
So we have a freestanding partition for if the ladies want to sit on one side and men want to sit on the other.
This is a time for peaceful reflection, isn't it, while they're waiting for this?
That's why it's called the quiet room.
The people actually, they don't have places at home, that they need on that one.
That's what we say upstairs.
Yeah.
It's when people used to do it at home, it got quite complicated. So having it here gives them more chance.
Yes.
More people as well space and more people can.
Lots of people come from distances.
Yeah, when they're
People
south.
have relatives up north or wherever they come. Okay.
Nice facility.
Yes.
This is the room offered for bereaved families. They can come here while the body is being prepared. They can come, the family can sit here. There is a freestanding partition if they want the ladies to sit somewhere. Separately.
Everything seems very new.
Yes. Yes. It's a couple of years old.
And this is so in Judaism it would be unusual for the family to see the body once the person is being taken for tahara. What happens here is viewing the person an important part of what
after
happens?
the body is prepared, tahara, you say. You just show the face. If they want to, some people want to see the face for the last time. So everything is covered except for the face.
And that would take place here. This would be where they would.
It could take place in the
their
prayer
loved one.
hall. It could take place here.
And would the prayers themselves take place here before the burial?
No. On the main prayer hall.
Because I think that's
this is mainly, I think, for the families, friends to come together and console. Because the houses are very small.
Yes.
And if you have 100 people or 50 people visiting, to pay their condolences. So instead of being there, so it's better to be here.
So is that it's before the funeral, obviously? Or do they come back after?
They can come back afterwards.
After the burial,
Yes.
everybody come here.
They come here after?
After,
okay.
then they offer the meal,
Okay.
and then they go home.
But sometimes they do, sometimes they don't.
Sometimes it depends.
But this is an
Sometimes we
opportunity.
do
So
it
we set Shiva, which is what, 8 days?
Yeah, 7.
7 days.
Yeah, we got 3 days, 10 days, and then 40 days.
We go for 7-day, 30-day.
Yes.
Yeah, we have 3 days, 10 days.
But that's part of the
Of restriction, of a different sort of
yes,
music.
religious ritual, you can say.
This is the ladies' prayer hall. And I was saying that the men's prayer hall is a bigger version of this. Same prayer mats, same everything. You can see part of the first floor entrance hall there on the screen. So if there is an event and there are speeches or speakers there, you can see the men's prayer hall. Okay.
Are there always decorations?
Not always. Sometimes, yes, something to say.
Slow to take out the Christmas tree.
Okay. Okay, we go down to the first floor main prayer hall.
Funny.
I've just asked. He said that the minaret is not a functioning minaret. It doesn't have speed. Which is understandable. I mean, yes. He said, well, everyone's got apps in there. Okay, so there was
So in terms of sizing.
Again, it's just under my grade. It's there. It's there to be dentist. Yeah.
Stop forward, please. This is the men's prayer hall. it takes about 984, 990 people, depending on their size.
Okay.
What else can we say? This is the direction of Mecca. I'm soon going to hand over you to our head of madrasa and scholar in residence, Imam Muhammad Ahmad. He's standing there quietly. This is the mihrab, which is the place where the Imam leads prayer from. Everything, even the Imam doesn't face the congregation, he's facing towards the congregation. Muhammad Ahmad, Sheikh Imam Muhammad Ahmad, Head of Madrasa.
Thank you.
We'll give you a talk about Islam.
Okay, firstly, thank you very much for coming. I really appreciate the fact that you've taken time out of your busy schedules today, especially with the weather that we have. We were hoping the sun might join us, but maybe on another day. But, no, I think we're fine, inshallah.
Are you able to hear him? Yes?
So we just basically, no long speeches really. This is, the whole purpose for us is to welcome you guys and thank you for coming and welcome you and allow you the opportunity to see what we do here and what we have here, and the amount of people that come here is generally about 2,000 people really on Friday, and that's during the week session. In the holidays we have up to about 3,500, I'd say, without any exaggeration.
3,000 to 4,000 holidays.
Yeah. 3,000 to 4,000 people that we have here, so it's quite a busy environment, quite a busy place. One of the most beautiful, I actually come from the north, so you could probably tell by my accent, it's not a southern accent, but one of the most beautiful things that I've seen here, more so than anywhere else, is the different types of people from different backgrounds that come here. If we were to analyze just one of my classes that I took of young lads, 7, 8-year-olds, and I just asked them where they were from, and 7 students came in, and each one of them came from a distinctively different background, or a distinctively different country of origin that they've come from. So that was just one experience where people have come from different faiths. And it's a beautiful thing. If we really look at every religion, there are beauties within every religion, and there's no doubt about that. That's something that we really want to welcome people of different backgrounds, different faiths, and the purpose is generally the same, and that's to reach nearness and closeness to our Creator. And that is what our primary belief is, that we need to please our Lord, please the Creator who has created us and then blessed us with the blessings that He has given us. And those blessings stem from the fact that we're able to breathe, the fact that we're here, the fact that we're standing, the fact that we're different in size, in shape, in color, in language, but we share the same mission, that's to advance ourselves and benefit ourselves to gain closeness to the one who has created us. And that's what we're instilling in our children and in our congregations. Justice, to establish justice, to live a life in servitude, in worship, and not only worship, but also transactions and dealing with people. That's something which is very, very important, and it's part of our worship. So it's not only about one individual, him and her worshipping the Creator, it's more than that. It's about how we deal with people, how we talk to people, our transactions, and then the qualities that are required within our transactions, and that is of honesty, being truthful, being trustworthy, and being people that protect others also. We have a greater challenge than most at the moment, and that is we have to face a media bias. But that's fine, because what we teach people is, if you are upright, and when you are upright in society and in communities, then people will see you for being who you are. You can always cry about what the media portrays us, but that's a negative thing. But if we are positive in who we are, we understand the true teachings of our religion, and that is the message that we take outside and share with people, then we're not aliens in that sense. Yeah? People often think that people of the Islamic faith are aliens. We're not alien to anything. We live daily lives, we have our own professions, but we take some time out of that day to worship our Creator, to say thank you to Him, to remind us of ourselves. These days, another concept of earthing one's self is very, very important. It's something which is growing. The Muslims are earthing themselves 5 times a day just to stay grounded, stay humble. Yeah? But at the same time, we are also human. We have those other traits that we should try and get rid of. So we're constantly working on ourselves. And that's another form of jihad that we do, which is jihad on ourselves and our desires and our emotions and our feelings, and make those in line with what humanity respects and deserves. So we are people that contribute towards the society. Today we find ourselves, even in this masjid, you find people on every sector of life. So Muslims have come, they've contributed immensely. They've come as early as the 40s, even before then, into this. And they've been great contributors towards society. It's just sad, a few people have taken it to a level which is highly deplorable and condemned by the Muslim community. But on the whole, just like any other community, we have our own issues. So we're not going to paint ourselves in the most beautiful of paintings, but we have our issues, we have our difficulties, we have problems with our youth, we have problems, marriage problems are also very common. So we have all of those things, but we're working towards that. Yeah. So what's perfect in Islam, what's not perfect is human beings. So we try and achieve to that. That's our standard. And if we can raise ourselves to that standard, then we're very, very fortunate. Some of these elder people, they probably never got a parking ticket in their life. Really. Yeah. That is just sad that some of the younger generations that are coming in, they have their own development of their own minds. Social media is not really helping, even though there's many benefits and qualities with that. So again, the control of that is something we need to really work on and teach our children. So generally, I think this is just like, this is a place of worship. There are many other places of worship around here. And our purpose and our aim and our ambitions are exactly the same. And that's to build future generations to be good Muslims. And in retrospect of being good Muslims, they'll be good citizens for this country as well. So that's, I think, as much as I want to bore you with. But if there's any questions, inshallah, we'll take the questions downstairs. If there's any questions with regards to the building or the architecture of the building, the inside is the best person for that. In terms of running of the masjid, we have our chairman, Nasir Bashir Warsi, who is the chairman of the masjid. I'm sure he'll be more than happy to share his thoughts with you guys. And these are some of our, mashallah, trustees. The person who calls the prayer, a very important person, mashallah, in the masjid, calls the prayer 5 times a day. Beautiful voice, mashallah, that he has. And these are some of our beautiful elders. And Islam does give a lot of precedence and respect for elders. So these guys are our lighting beacons of our masjid. They've been here for many, many years. Yeah, most of these guys have been here when this masjid didn't even exist, and people were praying in the 2 houses down the road. So these guys are more older than the fabric of the mosque. But that's where the blessings come from. But that's where the blessings come from. The blessings come from our elders. They are the people that created these mosques. And these were those selfless individuals that would donate their entire monthly wages towards the creation of these mosques. So they are the ones that really deserve the credit for their support of the last 20, 30, 40 years, but also their contributions. These masajid have been made by people's donations. So we ask Allah that He accepts it from them as well. And there's many others here as well that I can speak about. We also know our teachers there as well. Start Farah here, mashallah, Ashfaq. These guys are teachers. This is our main Imam, mashallah. So I won't say anything now that he's here. I'll just pass it on to him for a few words, inshallah, and then whatever the program is, inshallah, we'll take it from here.
Oh, thank you, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to our mosque. And I'm very happy to see you, brothers, sisters from other faiths. This is a good opportunity for our brothers and sisters to visit the mosque and to know about Islam and what we do here. This is a place of peace. People come for peace and the satisfaction of soul. Basically, the masajid or mosque, as you know, anywhere. So these places are for worshiping God, for the places of our community, for helping the community, making the people together. That is something. And thank you very much. always, it's not only one day, and we 5 times a day, we ask, we have a call 5 times a day, come towards success. So there's a timetable 5 times a day. So it's an open mosque, and we ask to come towards the success. Hayya ala salah, hayya ala salah. So you are very welcome anytime. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm going to recite first chapter of the Quran. So that's basically introductory. The compulsory, every Muslim man or woman has to memorize and recite, everyone. So this is enough prayer, really great. So this is the first chapter of there are 114 chapters in the Quran. So this is the first chapter. So some chapters are very long, some very short. This is أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين.
The first chapter of the Quran starts with praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The first verse is, all praise be to Allah, the Lord of the universe, most merciful and most compassionate, owner and master of the day of judgment. To you, to Allah, you alone we worship, and you alone we seek help from and assistance. Then we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for guidance and say, guide us to the right path. And then we don't leave it there, we say, guide us on the path of those upon whom you have favored, and not upon the path of those who have earned your anger and your wrath.
So I think it's going to be an Asr prayer, as you can see, 4:15 here. I'm sure you're going to be still around, but if you want to come up here, you can observe how the prayer is performed from there, near the entrance, if you're interested.
So in terms of today's official proceedings, that concludes everything. If there is any questions at this stage, obviously questions is a way of better understanding our religion and clarifying things. So if there is any question, by all means you can ask in the open setting. If there is anybody who wants to have a one-to-one conversation with any of our team or ask in private, by all means we can do that downstairs as well. So we'll open the floor for questions, and then after this help yourself downstairs to some refreshments. Hang around for as long as you can, but that will conclude the official proceedings.
There are also some things on display so people can...
Yes, downstairs, I think everybody's, if those of you who just joined us, there's refreshments, there's some stalls that have been laid out on different elements of the Islamic faith, and just there's a way of kind of engaging people to understand better. And again, if you do have any questions, the team downstairs will be able to assist.
You can ask any questions now as well.
Yeah.
If you have any questions, we have Imam here. He can answer your questions. Any questions, anyone? Any? Emily? Come forward, Emily. Emily is from Mind Charity in Harrow.
Thank you. Yeah, you mentioned about some of the activities at the mosques with younger people. And I'm just wondering about how you find it engaging with younger people, in particular with teenagers, because I know in other faiths in general what's happened is that young people don't tend to see places of worship as cool, or they assume whether they want to be seen going on a Friday or Saturday night. How have you found engaging with younger people, and are there any particular special activities that you've been successful?
Thank you.
question that you asked. Unlike most, I think, just as students go to school, we have similar sort of experience with students coming to the mosque. The younger that they are, the more they love to come to the mosque, simply because it's engaging, they have some time to play, games and things like that. As they get older, that's when we start finding some students wanting and some students not wanting to come to the mosque. I've had frank discussions with quite a few of them, and I've asked them, I said, look, if there's any issues that you have or you don't like to come to the mosque, speak to us, and we will make arrangements for you to have studies outside the mosque also. Generally, all of them say, no, it's fine, we just had an off day or something like that. They usually make that kind of an excuse. But for some, it's all about engagement. It's about speaking to them at their level and engaging them in topics that they really want to discuss. As they get older, the syllabus and the curriculum that we have set also changes. So it's more based around what they're experiencing outside. And through that we have workshops to allow them to think and develop and speak of their emotions and feelings also at the same time. We do have a gangster type of culture that has been created. You get a few students are wearing hoodies, for example, wanting to come. But we want to really increase sports, for example. Our kids are very competitive, for example. So we have cricket, for example.
Yes,
he spoke about that, yes, so that's one of the things. We also got some games upstairs for children to get engaged in. We are planning to develop some social activities for students, but as of yet we haven't really managed to do that. But it's something that's always evolving, always changing. We need to really work on that. It's a constant challenge. Yes, again, clubs, extracurricular activities, and also education such as English, maths classes are being given.
Mainstream exams, we have another charity working with us. They give coaching at a very, very minimal price every Saturday and Sunday in the madrasa floor and on the third floor. And this is basically to help with mainstream education, maths, English, GCSE preparation for another class. So that's also very well attended. But we're also looking into other ways of engaging the children so that they are off the street and not doing unsocial things. They would rather be in the mosque, and all these clubs and things like that are not just for Muslim children. They're open to all people. So we don't want to see the mosque just for the Muslims. We want the whole community to benefit from its very existence and the services we offer.
Anyone's more than welcome to come during week and see if classes taking place. We have about 470 students that are registered here.
The question Emily has asked is that every faith has a problem attracting the youngsters, the teenagers. So what are we doing about it? That's the question she has asked.
Yeah. Again, for that, we are trying to put up more extracurricular activities. Some of those that have been mentioned. In addition to that, we're trying to make our classes more engaging. Most of our teachers, I'd say over 80% of our teachers are English-speaking teachers, which is also something that didn't happen in the past. Teachers are more relatable, so students enjoy coming more. We have a retreat we're planning end of April for a group of students that we're going to take out in Warwickshire. Again, it can only be a handful at the moment, but these are things that require resources. So some of the problems that we do face is you take students out for a weekend with activities, residential, food. It could cost very much. A lot of the students can't even afford that here. So those are some of the challenges that kind of we are facing. Financially, how do we make it accessible and sustainable going forward?
And also there is this thing of conception. People traditionally view the mosque as a place of worship only. But we are going to really focus more on publicizing this at greater length through our website, through internet and mails, local newspapers. We have all these extra facilities for the community benefit. So I think that way we will draw children from a much wider spectrum of the society. I think that will also help.
Thank you, everyone. We can go down to the ground floor now and have a look around.
Very special thank you to all for finding the time in this dreadful weather to come for this My Mosque. Thank you once again.
Yes. After this, we will do another guided tour, and you who's here has taken time out to come and speak to you. And if you have any other questions,
before the other group comes here, you can ask Imam Shakuddin as well.
Just thank you all very much really for coming today. I think actually the more engagement we can get between different groups of people in society, it's good for all of us to understand, our own backgrounds. We obviously interact in the workplace and the education sphere. It's nice sometimes to come and see what we do in our, in our personal time, places of worship, and some of the other things that shape us, perhaps some of the things that actually define some of our most fundamental values, in fact. And to see that actually, although maybe the shape of the buildings and the format, the languages might be different, actually, a lot of the values that we all care about in terms of community cohesion and wanting the best for our children, wanting a good future for them, and hoping that we can all live together in the future in a positive way. Some of those values really come from our religious values or our personal values, and these are places which can nurture that. So hopefully we can all use these as a positive influence on our society. So, but thank you all for participating.
And so what problem we have, the big problem, and we call and all the housing association here coming involved with that, and we are all with Mr. Zanfa Ali. He said, we can make a travel plan.
Like a supplication that is said audibly for everyone to hear, where we, for example, we say where there is conflict in the world, bring peace. Where there is hunger, please bring sustenance. It's very similar, in fact, to a Christian liturgical tradition. And there's harmony in people's hearts, bring harmony.
Legislators would sit there and deliver his Friday service. For instance, the religious festivals of Eid, and if there was any other sort of pressing matters and he had to gather the congregation, he'd be sat there, but everybody else sits on the floor whilst they're waiting and listening. And then you can see the sort of arch that's being created.
This is the most amplified
Transmit the sound as well as maintain the temperature in heat rises. So all our religions of the book, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam came in hotter countries. So there's a need to maintain temperature.
You go into Baitul Muqaddas, all the churches, all the doors.
The next time. We'll break it down.
Yeah, minaret is just symbolic enough. In the old days, they used to have a man go up. They used to have space to go up.
Will you ever have a call to prayer?
Yes.
Yeah.
5 times a day.
But will you ever do so from the minaret?
No, all eternally. Because everyone had that now on mobile phone. Watches.
Yeah.
It's not in those times when they didn't have a watch. At times, somebody used to go up and go up. This is about 39 meter diameter of this dome.
And what happens?
Other than some functions, cricket, yes, prayer.
On Friday.
Food tape in there, and things like that, basically. We used to, it was earmarked for a library, but we have a library in a smaller room there. That dome needs a big light to illuminate this middle area, at least 3-4 meters wide. So it's designed to take 300 kilos weight. That grey bit in the middle is called the winch, W-I-N-C-H. Right? Yes. That's where the light bulbs, and it will work with the remote control. Yeah, this prayer hall takes about 980 to 990 people. And that's why when we have 3,000, we have to use the function hall and the ground floor where we first met. That becomes a prayer hall as well. That gets automated. Yes, we do that. And then we use the other rooms as well. And then there is a school break. We have lots of young people, so we have to open all the rooms.
in the corridors. And during the month of Ramadan, we feed almost 300 people every evening. 550. 550. I mean, people who cannot afford a good meal at home, so they're welcome here.
That's what they're supposed to do, but many people who live locally also come. Stop
cooking. So everybody is welcome.
It's not just the needy. Everyone comes.
Mainly, I mean, the purpose is just for the needy, but you're welcome.
It's also become a big opportunity for interfaith hosting, hospitality. The interfaith, the Ramadan month in my diary with the invitations, it's just become
we hold every iftar party for the whole interfaith community.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's quite...
You must be aware of the 5 pillars of Islam.
Yes, absolutely.
The first pillar is very important, that you believe in one God. And I believe that Prophet Muhammad is the last messenger, but we have to also believe in all the other books that God has revealed through different messengers, okay, like the Torah, and we have to believe in the Bible and all those prophets as well. Until we believe that our faith isn't complete. We can't say we just believe in one prophet and not the other.
Interesting about that is also what I was hearing downstairs from Imam's speech. Was about then the knowledge to make that belief sort of substantial, on what we do to understand each other's teachings and the way that we do those teachings, which I often think strengthens your own understanding of your own faith. So I found to read Quran or to hear an Islamic scholar explain about a prophet who's important to Judaism through the lens of Islam gives you an interesting perspective on that lot to make that happen. And I know Free Faith Forum is trying to do that.
It's happening now, I think. I mean, in Harrow, we are trying to
Quran so many times. I read for the past 16 years. Some verses and translation because I can't understand all different translations in English, different scholars. Moses is mentioned more times, I think, than anyone else in Quran. And then Jesus.
Bani Israel, that's the main chapter there. And
Moses, how he was born, what his mother
few
did.
chapters.
Exactly, with the basket.
Yes. Ten Commandments, how the Bani Israel were rescued by Moses, and when he went out to the Toba, asked by the Almighty to take off your shoes, you're in the Holy Land. When the burning bushes, all this.
That's what we were talking earlier. Let me say goodbye to you because I've got to go and do my ablution before the play. Thank you. Thank you. So welcome for coming here. Thank you. Nice of you.
Thank you for having us. Thank you
Thank
so
you for
much.
having us.